Good morning. Welcome to Fireside. Today is Tuesday, May the 5th, and today we're going to be talking about rules, tables, and graphs, part 2. I'm here with my beautiful co-star, Miss Lauren Elizabeth, who's wide awake. She's enthralled by this. She's almost a month old. So let's see if we can get through this today. Our connection. Last week we analyzed patterns and rules in tables of values to create graphs, to represent the data, and answer questions using rules, tables, and graphs. Today what we're going to do is we are going to use the rules and tables and graphs to compare real-world relationships and solve some problems. You still with me? You still awake? So our state standard is to generate two numerical patterns using two given rules, identify apparent relationships between corresponding terms, form ordered pairs consisting of corresponding terms from the two patterns, and graph those ordered pairs on a coordinate plane. Our warm-up, if you would complete this and post it to Canvas, that's great. If you remember, the little asterisks are actually multiplication, they're times. So again, the first one would be like 54 and 7/10 times 17 and 3/10. You'll do all 6 of those, or all 9 of those, 6 of those. Our math message today is Kayla earns $20 per hour. So what's a rule that we can write that would describe how much Carla earns? Well, for every hour, or the N, X times 20 is the rule that I would write. So for the hours worked, for 1, I put earnings 20. For the second one, we would do 2, and we'd put in 40. For the third one, we'd write 3, and we'd write 60. So our ordered pairs would be 1, 20, 2, 40, 3, 60. So here's what I want you to think about in this lesson. When you wrote a rule to describe Carla's earnings in the math message, were you describing a rule for the X column, a rule for the Y column, or a rule about the relationship between the corresponding X and Y terms? In addition to the rule that relates to the corresponding terms X and Y, what other patterns did you notice? And then how was this problem from lesson 7-11 similar to the math message problem that we did just now in 7-12? How is it different? So you're going to compare those two. Ladies and gentlemen, there's lots of rules, tables, and graphs. One rule is do not try this at home, and do not tell Mrs. Young we're doing this. The greatest daredevil in young history, Banister Slider, Lauren Elizabeth. Whee! So in a table, you can look for 3 different rules. When you wrote a rule to describe Kayla's earnings in the math message, or Carla, but anyway, earnings in the math message, were you describing a rule for the X column, a rule for the Y column, or a rule about the corresponding X and Y terms? Today's lesson, we're going to use a table and graphs to compare situations in which there are 2 different rules that relate to 2 sets of corresponding terms. So what we're going to be looking at is Andy and Carla, and we're going to look to see how many hours it's going to take for Andy to make $40 an hour, and how many hours it will take for Carla to earn 40. They both earn different amounts per hour. The second question is, by what time of day will they have earned $40? What time will Andy earn $40? And by what time Carla will have earned $40? You're going to use these rules, tables, and graphs to analyze this, and then you're going to also analyze the foot race problem on the next page. So today, for your homework for math, what I'd like for you to do is to complete pages 269, 270, and 271. And as you can see, Lauren is absolutely enthralled with this lesson, so I imagine you would as well.